Greetings and such disaster. I am Count Cat here tonight with my lovely divine feline. We are here tonight outside of one of our favorite Los Angeles venues, the California Institute of Abnormal Arts, also known as
CIA.
Tonight we shall go on the grand tour by Carl Crew himself as we get to peek our eyeballs at mummified mermaids, clowns, deceased magicians, all sorts of bizarre, interesting things that are pretty normal in Tripolania where we come from. Come on by and check out CIA before it's storm. We shall enter, meow. Wait, never mind. They don't use this entrance no more. We have to go in through the door now.
Now, caso cat, you've entered into your own terrible tenebra tales to horrible Halloween noises, sending shivers down your shuddering spine, spiraling your mind into complete madness.
Garbage cans.
That's the main attraction everyone come to see. How many years have you been doing this? Because I know you've gone through different stages.
26 years.
26
years.
Always at this location.
Yeah. Originally, we were totally underground. And we had a rubber 20-foot tall brick wall on hinges with a Brady Bunch fireplace. And if you knew how to pass through the shadow, it looked like you walked through a wall. So it was the secret entrance to the CIA club.
But then somebody got the football latches in there?
No. What happened was we were doing 300 people a night, and we were totally underground. We didn't have license one, and it was just hardcore art.
License to party?
Liquor license.
For anything, for business, anything, which is crazy.
Got it.
I got all the sets from the Gary Collins home show, and we moved it in and placed it all the way around, and it was so much fun. And a friend of mine had a Academy Award party.
Which is normal here in Hollywood.
Yeah. And all of a sudden there was 300 people here, and we just go, duh. Yeah, we had just used this place as a distribution company for the films I'd been making. So that's when we did the party, and it was like, duh.
Wow.
Yeah, so then somebody dropped a dime on us because we were doing so well. All the other clubs were very jealous. So all of a sudden, because we were getting 300 people a night. It was crazy.
Well, how did you get so much publicity?
We never did publicity. It was all underground.
Word of mouth.
And how do we make underground as big as it was back then?
Back then it was hardcore underground. What we did was I did flyers, and we put flyers everywhere.
Well, people do flyers today.
Yeah, but I was designing the weirdest flyers you could possibly imagine.
How is much more different than today?
Well, these were scratch and sniff.
Okay.
Sniff flyers.
I'm just kidding. No.
Okay, scratch and sniff is
and you can
good.
sniff them, but they smell the same if you don't scratch them.
No, they don't. They smell really good if you don't scratch them. No, but anyway, because of what we were doing, we would have regular bands, and the weirdest performance art between each band. People walk out and like, "What did I just see?" I have no idea. It was hilarious.
I want to know such bands.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Which bands were? What name of you?
The bands were just regular.
Them.
You know, there's regular bands, but we put like
bands?
crazy performance art between each one, so it was nuts. No one ever knew what was going to happen.
Like Dead Cat?
Well, that's an example of what it morphed into, yeah. Like, radioactive chicken heads, green jello, stuff like that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, somebody dropped a dime, and the big shutdown happened. We had 300 people here, cops, helicopter, fire engines. It was hilarious. And they all stood across the street and taunted the cops, because they're so pissed about busting an art club, and I was like, time to go home now, okay guys, So it took like 9 months to get all our licenses, and we reopened, so we've been legally open for 26 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So that was like back in the 1990s?
Yeah, it was 93, 94.
And you've redone sort of the style of the place
many
once
times.
Or twice? Okay, many times.
First of all, it was all black. and we had black light everywhere, and so you didn't know where you were. And always been the concept of this place is to get lost, is to be out of your comfort zone and see stuff you've never seen before. I love your nails, darling.
Of
Can you
course.
scratch my areas?
Right here.
Anyway,
You shave the sidebar now.
I got it later.
so then we went all hardcore circus. We reinvented ourselves,
Yeah.
and we reopened, not underground. And we were so hardcore circus with our design all the way around that we beat out that Magic Castle online.
But that's like secret service society.
Well, not really. Yeah, I mean we were
But not
legal at that
anymore.
point.
Not anymore, of course.
Yeah, and then
That's
people
for
like
sure.
the guy who Night of a Thousand Corpses, he came down to the art director and studied the place, and then did Night of a Thousand Corpses. You know, he got a lot of ideas from us and stuff. So, but you know, like I say, well, I've been making films for so many years, and I know all the set yards, and I save all the sets that I can.
So that's how you bring the
Absolutely.
freak show and the bazaar into it from your
Well, you know,
your
that's,
films you're
that's
making.
something else. That's a whole nother deal. But just to be set in, I grew up in the theater, man. I did 17 years in a repertory theater since I was a kid till I was like 20.
Yeah.
So I love the stage. I love props. I love all this show business.
It's second nature.
Normal life is just boring outside.
I know. Well, it's all about being a maximalist. I'm not a minimalist. I'm a maximalist.
Oh, to the extreme!
You-
Sensations.
Make a mark. You know, do something that's going to stand out. You know, otherwise, why bother? You're just going to get lost in the crowd.
What do you find makes mark in California?
Fire and razor blades. No, I'm just kidding.
Sure.
You know, I mean,
Peanut butter and catnip.
oh, I love that. It's beautiful. Medium rare. The whole deal is that everything's been done before,
Right.
but it's your particular bent you put on things that make it
Aspect.
unique, and that's your
Your
strong point.
perspective.
Yeah,
Perspective.
that's exactly right.
Just like naps, everybody go to sleep. But have you slept on top of the wall before? Have you slept between the pillows?
Sure,
Have you
it's
slept on a
saying
bed of
they have
nails before?
siestas,
I'm
but
tired of enough work for me.
So we have an auditorium here, and
show us.
I give
please.
tours. I give private tours, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour.
Excellent.
We have 3 dead bodies from 100 years ago.
Which is normal.
Totally normal for me because
For
I
you.
used to be a mortician,
Okay.
so I know all the rules.
Correct.
Pre 1925, I don't need a permit. Yes, so that's everything.
And you get free mercury and formaldehyde that way.
Turn of the century embalming, they use all kinds of crazy chemicals. You know, when I was an embalmer, we used formaldehyde to make you all pink and happy.
Sure
Can-
explains a lot, don't it?
So let me show you a couple bodies. This is well, I'll show you right here. Come on, right this way. Don't be scared. Right here.
Ah! Oh, sorry, it's just a tree.
Okay. There we go.
This
Oh,
is
it's my
this is
spot.
this is Fat Choi.
Pak Choi. Pak Choi.
Fat Choi, yes. He is a magician for underground opium dens in 1914 in San Francisco. He is embalmed with pure mercury.
No
Yeah,
Saturn, just
mercury.
Mercury.
That's it.
No
So
Mars.
he's
Anyway.
basically from other planet.
Well, he looks good and terrible, yeah. But I know his family very well. I mean, I grew up in San Francisco, and I used to drop down into Chinatown every day to get my fried wontons, and I met these incredible Chinese families that just took me in, man. I got to go over and eat, and they cooked for me, and my name is Carl Crew, and they called me Klala Crew.
Kalaksu.
Yes, Klala! And I called them up after all these years because we reinvented ourselves again. We went all
Sounds good.
ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah.
I said, "This is
It's
Klala."
beautiful. It's beautiful accent, and I love it.
Oh, it's
But
beautiful.
We go on. We see that he had a lot of family that was invested in his display.
Yes. Well, I mean, the thing is the bodies I have are all from families that I know.
Right.
So it's not like,
Not like they're in the hands of a stranger.
Exactly, exactly. And they come down every few months, and he has, he's sitting cross-legged, but that's his fake hand. He accidentally chopped his hand off in an opium den magic show. And they gave him a
So
fake
he
hand.
was true to his work and craft.
No, he was a mess, you know. He
Right.
got very
mess.
stoned and chopped
Right.
off his own hand, yeah. But all the fake skin fell off because it's 1914.
Of course.
But he had a monkey for an assistant in the opium dens. And the monkey outlived him by 15 years. And when the monkey passed, they stuffed him. And I'm getting the monkey to sit right next to him. So it's going to be a little
Do you
family
think the
affair.
monkey planned it?
Family reunion.
Oh, absolutely.
Alright.
You think it was the monkey's fault for
Yeah,
him
it's-
cutting his arm off?
It's
Like the monkey
always
was
the monkey's
supposed
fault.
right.
Blame it on the monkey.
Well, you know, nature has its ways.
And the good news is,
Yeah.
even though he's missing his real arm, you have an extra arm around here to spare as well.
That's right. I always keep a spare. That's right. Very important. The armored clog. We'll get to that. Well, I want to show you Madame Wong. Madame Wong is a midget magician jewel thief.
A little person.
Yes. Well, I got in trouble with calling a midget a little person.
There's whole society, I'm aware. Little person.
I work with all of them, my dear, and some of them bawled me out for calling them a little person. And let me tell you why.
Called the
Because
leprechauns.
if they're working in the freak show, they want to be called a midget because that's how they make money. I said,
Okay.
child, I will call you whatever you want. I know plenty of little people that I will not call a midget.
So this is first hand. I know not, but he does, so we move on.
We're not dealing with that world out there, crazy world. We're here with the sane world with mummies and midgets.
Well, I will call them whatever they
sense.
want me because I love little people. I love them, and I've worked with a lot of them. So.
Yeah.
In fact, a friend of mine, Michael Gogan, he's been coming and performing here for a very long time. And he's actually from San Francisco, from my hometown.
It's just like campfires and vampires. Some prefer vampires.
They think we
prefer
don't like
campfire.
light, we hate it, we can be under it,
It's
we just
it's up to the
despise
individual
it.
what they want to be called.
Correct.
Yes, exactly.
Midgets in
right.
the freak show world. Hey, who's hiding here?
This is Madame Wong.
Some shiny jewels she got in there.
Yes, she is a midget magician jewel thief. Now let me get my little light here. She was arrested at the Golden Gate Theater in 1914 in San Francisco. And she was good and terrible too. She's embalmed with ginseng and mercury.
So that means she's energetic alien?
What?
Mercury is from other planets, alien.
No, it's not from another planet.
No, she's into heavy metal.
So
Yeah, there you go.
she's an energetic alien.
Yeah, it's just terrible embalming job, and that's just all they had. They were experimenting with all kinds. The ginseng made it taste better, sorry.
She smelled like my grandfather's decaying automobiles.
She smells like an elephant dick. No, I'm sorry, that's not good.
You are terrible. Now, she was, I know her family very well. They brought all her stuff, and I have a cover of San Francisco Chronicle showing her being arrested at the Golden Gate Theater in 1914. in
She's
San
actually
Francisco.
very beautiful. Not many
Yeah, I wish I
people
could show you a
can
picture of
see
her.
it.
She was actually very
She's
beautiful.
very pretty woman. She's hold on to a
And she
jewel
passed
like
away
she
in
know
prison?
what she got.
Yeah, she actually died in
Extremists.
prison because she. What happened was she would hang black dragon heads in the theater and blow opium smoke on people, get them all stoned. She just come out and take her jewelry during her act.
She sounds like fun woman on a weekend
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Good gig.
And she stole across from this one guy, and he wasn't stoned yet, and he got a cop. And he came back in, and they witnessed her. She had borrowed the Lotus Jewel from the De Young Museum in San Francisco, made it disappear in her act, and she never brought it back. She was arrested and went to prison and died in prison,
And there you have it.
thinking that she
Magic.
stole the jewel, and then she got away with it. But it turned out that the jewel was fake. So they brought the jewel down here. We have it on display.
So she have it now.
Yeah, she does. She didn't know ever that it was not real.
At least she died pretty content with herself.
Right.
Yeah, in prison, I don't think so. I love the history.
Sound too good.
You see the jewel right there? That's a Lotus Jewel.
Where was she arrested again? What city?
I'm sorry?
Which city was she in?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah, that Golden Gate Theater is very famous.
Hometown of Luther Speaker.
There's the real fake jewel.
Yep, and the museum was so embarrassed that they didn't prosecute her. She'd probably still be alive. 1,000 years later, yeah.
Yeah.
So right here, actually, no, turn around. My
Uh-oh.
dead clown.
Oh, we missed him first
Yes.
time.
This guy has a centerfold in the Ripley's book in 2018. He is hermetically sealed, embalmed with mercury and arsenic,
The good stuff.
and his last request was that he would always be on display.
Really?
So his family had him sealed in here, airtight, in clown makeup, and he's wearing his Shriners Parade outfit from 1906 in Detroit, the first Shriners Parade.
Motor City Madness continued.
And unfortunately, the glass is a little dirty, but if it was clear, you could see the nose hairs, ear hairs. He is looks so good. And it's because of the hermetical seal. But he's way over embalmed. 26 years ago, his casket was on the stage. We have a memorial service after the freak show. And, we had an old clown get up and cry over him, and they played taps, and a magician got up at the end, and he did some juggling. Because he loved juggling. and he did it terribly, but about the counts. Then he pulls out a case and sets it on the stage and unzips it, and out jumps a live rabbit. And the rabbit jumps up on a stool and leans into the microphone and says the closing benediction like a black preacher. Amen!
Oh,
Freaked everyone out. And you can see that clip. It is
You mean with passion, amen?
it is hilarious. And what that really was
I don't know what you meant about that.
I did not hear it. It's great. And what that really was a trick microphone that leaked yogurt. A trained rabbit. And I'm backstage going, "Dear Lord, hallelujah!" Yeah, it was so funny. Yeah. So we do something like that every time they come back.
So what
That's
happens when
really
you give
cool.
yogurt to a rabbit?
Yeah, it's a great trick. The guy, he did rabbi out of a hat. He did some great magic tricks. Yeah, but he did the talking rabbits.
So he keeps the clowns clowning around.
Oh yeah.
The only corpse that will leave a smile on your face.
This is a human arm in a shrine from 1918. And you can go on YouTube and type in "arm of Claude," and you'll see it on Ripley's Believe It or Not with Dean Cain.
Oh.
And,
Wait, is that Superman?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Really?
Superman is part of this.
Okay, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And that's him right there, Claudel Reyne. French nobleman. His wife was a singer.
Yeah.
And this is turn of the century in Paris. And
Paris.
Paris. Yes, and she would not sing during World War I, but when the war ended in 1918. Oh, now sing!
Because of?
Because she was protesting the war.
Oh.
Yeah. But she said, "I will now sing," and she got on the Paris opera stage and slipped and broke her neck.
I hate it when that happens.
I know, it's driving me crazy.
Last time that happened to me, I had to come here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I know.
So he tried to catch her
fixed
and
you
his
right
arm
up,
got
yeah.
ripped off.
Right up.
No, but they had to amputate his arm. But instead of throwing the trash, he enshrined his own arm. So this is the shrine of the arm of Claudel Reyne.
I can appreciate
Her
this.
memory.
Yep. Big long
Yes,
history
yeah.
too that I'm not even going into, but.
But what part of history? Like, what is it?
Well, I mean, you can get a wish in 24 hours if you leave something.
24 hours, you'll have
What do I
time
leave?
for that.
My leg, my
Let's move
shoe?
on.
What
Let's
do I
start.
leave? Okay, what are the rules?
The first rule is you have to be Chinese.
What do we have?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No, the first rule is
What if we have checkers?
whatever you leave, it has to
Checkers.
come from you. You cannot borrow it.
So you bought it yourself with the
It's
money you
yours.
earned.
It's yours.
She's mine, take her!
There you go. The
Oh,
second
Come on,
rule,
get in there.
But my shoes belong to someone else.
the second rule is you can never
Excuse.
verbalize what you wish for ever.
Okay.
So that rule is true. Don't ever share what your wish is.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in 26 years, I've never heard of anyone not getting their wish.
Interesting.
Oh wow, where did this chair come from? I've seen one of these before.
It's good to curse you.
Oh, the cursed chair. You ever seen anything like this before? Oh shoot, I really should not have touched it. He was not kidding around.
No, I know it. And he is a chieftain, and he's in a magnetized case. You know what that is, right?
Magnets.
No. It's a case that's magnetized. But why did they magnetize the case?
Because-
his head will grow very large and start to consume people to the nostrils if we don't.
Yum yum. No, it's to mute any residual juju.
Result any
I'll say, you know,
residual
the energy
juju.
Juju,
away.
juju
I
over
heard-
$10. You better give me my money.
I heard that juju was good thing, or is that mojo? I'm not sure.
No,
But
no,
Take
juju
a look
was-
at that thing one
That's
more
licorice
time.
flavored. So right below it is a hand of glory. Have you ever heard of that?
Taram
In
box.
Scotland, they'll hang you if you're a thief
Okay.
and let your body swing all night long on the moors.
Okay.
Come in the morning and your right hand's usually been cut off. The peasants, they take it, they treat it with cinnamon, salt, and moonlight. Put candle wicks between your fingers. It becomes what's known as a thieves' light. So it gives you invisibility when you use it. This one came from Scotland from 1709.
1709.
Yes.
It's way longer than last year, I'll tell you that.
Big and half Chihuahua.
No.
Oh, he's cute.
I got it in Mexico.
No.
I didn't know how I was going to get through customs. I
It would be
put it in a
called
bag and wrote pig statue. I'm like, oh, no.
What would it be called if it was half pig, half
A
chihuahua?
pig wawa.
Pigua.
Oh, no, puerco
Puerco.
de perro.
Pero puerco.
Yeah,
Perro poco.
puerco de perro.
And I'm like going through customs, like, I'm like, oh, yeah.
This is what you call puerco de perro.
Híjole.
Híjole, ¿qué sabes de hablando español? ¿Cómo te hablas?
So my girlfriend she had nightmares for a week. The
Okay.
teeth, the teeth. I go, honey, that's corn. That's his favorite meal.
I was about to say, yeah. it
Thanks
looks
a
like
lot,
corn.
Carl. Yeah. This is a cryptozoological specimen no one can identify.
Yeah, it looks like a mouse to me.
It looks like a rat. It looks like a mouse.
Looks like
it
mouse
like,
and
like
trap,
a dinosaur.
which
There's
is
dinosaur quality.
sounds like
to it.
dessert to
There's
me.
no sewing on it.
It's got the wings on it.
Yeah, I had scientists from the Natural History Museum come down and try to buy it for me. I said, child, you don't even know what it is? And they're like, no. I said, not for sale, baby.
He's pretty cute himself, too.
I mean, I used to be a mortician. I could spot a fake a mile away. I can't tell.
Still got some of the fur on
Yes.
Right here to the right of us.
And this is my Fiji mermaid, and she's got Down syndrome. It's really
Oh, I
sad.
was looking for the mermaid.
It's very sad.
Down syndrome.
That's
You
not
know-
funny.
I bet she made great art.
No, I didn't say it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say,
Wait, sorry. Just
I
turned it
heard
up.
long ago that mermaids were just really manatees in the ocean, that drunken pirates were mistaken for women half fish.
Well, they must have been really drunk.
Like I
Nice,
said,
thank you.
they
No,
were
this
drunk.
is, so I used to have an antique store in the Haight-Ashbury.
Okay. Oh, San Fran. Okay.
Yes, and I met a lot of really creepy dealers.
Alright.
Some of them even dealt antiques. No one gets that. It's okay.
Al
This one
dente,
woman was-
al dente, like soft, like antiques. Is that right?
I think your accent.
Whatever, baby.
Oh,
So, this woman had the thickest accent in the world, and I bought stuff from her for 10 years, and she knew my taste. I saw her 25 years later down like, and she was my bride! She comes to give me a hug. She's 96 years old now.
So she's pretty young.
Yeah, she's very, yes, spring chicken. So she comes, I said, you gotta come by for a tour. So she came by, she's very sweet. She goes, I'm so happy to see you, Carl. I said, thank you. She goes, this is my number, you call me tonight.
So that was inviting.
Yeah. And you know I did.
Yeah.
What can I do for you? My friend, I have something I want to give to you. I said, okay, what is it? You have to wait till I die.
Oh,
I'm like,
Sounds more
okay. She died 2 weeks later.
No.
Gulp. Got a call from one of her relatives and said, your name Carl? Yeah, there's a painting over here with your name on it. I said, fine. Picked it up, brought it back here, hung it in the main room the first night. I had a couple run out of here screaming.
No.
Screaming!
What?
I ran after him. I go, what are you doing? I go, ooh, I can't even talk.
No.
I go, no. You just ran to my place. I gotta know why.
Uh-huh.
She goes, you're messing with us.
They pinched her in the butt.
I said, she said, you're messing with us. I said, what? She said, we saw the eyes move. And I almost burst out laughing in her face.
Okay, lady. What
Oh, really, honey?
You came here.
What do
wait,
you-
there's eyes in that painting?
How many drinks have you had yet? And she
I
was
had
so
20.
pissed. She was so pissed she left. So I come back in and people go, what happened to her? I just saw the eyes move. Ha ha ha. 5 people said, we saw it. Now I've never seen it. And you know what I'd do if I saw it?
Scream.
Bam! Right in the trash, baby. Yeah. Papa don't take no mess. Believe me, I've thrown stuff away here. Yeah. Anything used in a ritual?
Oh, so you just get rid of it.
Oh yeah, bam. Bam! So quick. Make your head spin.
Okay.
Someone took a picture of it and put it on Google. Haunted painting. Hundreds of people came down for the tour.
Of course, you throw it in trash. It's one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Well, actually, it came from thrift stores.
Okay.
It's like outsider art. She just knew my taste.
Okay.
But what happened was so many people saw it on 2 years ago. I guess 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Someone stole it on Halloween night.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
you
and
did.
it was like half of me's like, the other half is like, don't let the gate hit you on the way out, baby. That thing came back in 3 days, leaned against my gate with a note that said "F this."
Oh, they go. Oh no, you set us up with crooked painting.
It sounded like a Ouija board. on a
I'm
painting.
dying to know what
Yeah,
happened.
they wanted the crazy painting,
But
and
this
they
is it.
say he set us
Oh,
up.
up there.
They set themselves up.
That's it
It's
right there.
beautiful.
This whole time I've been looking at that painting over there.
Hello,
very
my
confused.
friend. He's up here.
Oh, it looks like Anne Frank.
Oh, she looks sweet though.
It looks like Anne Frank.
Okay.
Yeah, Anne Frank.
Annie.
Annie
Franke.
Franke.
So she was like winking at people and they were running out screaming.
Yeah.
The eyes
really
do
ridiculous.
look like they're.
Making kisses.
Believe me, I know when something is haunted, and I get a thumb in my heart. I got no thumb. This is not haunted, but
Her eyes is the only thing that stands out in the painting. It glows green.
yeah.
I thought all
Very good.
paintings had the eyes moving around. It's
I
just
know, it's
normal.
great.
Right. It's
great.
normal thing for eyes to move on
I
on
would-
portrait. If
I
it
would-
doesn't, you think it's defective.
I would pay money to find out what happened to the person that brought it back. There's all kinds of other stuff. There's the Curse of the Monkey's Paw. You've heard of that? Well, Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, this movie from the 1930s.
Didn't Simpsons cover Edgar
There's
Allan Poe
a-
as well?
There is a Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock, and for the more culturally challenged, The Simpsons episode. Someone died in her family and she got a bunch of jewelry.
That's the way it works.
Yes.
Simpsons.
And that's a piece of the jewelry that she couldn't sell because it came with the paw.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. And then she wished for a husband. And she got a husband.
Was he
Previous
alive?
owners are all dead from wishing into a handicapped nightmare. Everything
you
wished
win some, you lose some.
So you think if someone wished for world peace, that person who wished for it
They will
have
explode.
nothing but destruction on themselves?
Yeah, they will explode in
Right.
Notice
Right,
the monkey
right.
hand.
This is the head of Bigfoot. I don't know if you can see
Sasquatch
it.
himself.
Yes. And it's a gaff. A gaff is a fake.
Not tape.
Yeah. 1943 from, or 53, I'm sorry, from Fort Lauderdale.
If I can get it.
But my great uncle was Jerry Crew. Jerry Crew,
Let me
who
get
took
back
the
on
first plaster cast of Bigfoot in 1958 on Mount Shasta. And he was there with my father and my other uncle. And he named Bigfoot. I mean, all this other nonsense, all these other movies, no one's ever done a movie where they tore down all the legend and got to the truth, the real truth of what happened. That's what I did.
The
And
truth of that day when he discovered
No, the truth about Bigfoot itself, and removed all the nonsense that people slap on. You know, like all these Bigfoot shows. There it goes. Do you see that? Oh, there it goes.
And you never see anything. It's like
Yeah.
a squirrel.
Well, the thing is that they move so quick, and we have a very specific explanation of what it is. It's not supernatural.
Do we have to watch the film, or are you going to tell us a
What
little
is
bit why?
explain-
It's a huge subject. It's a huge subject. It's actually
Are they just fast creatures,
no, they're human. They're human.
but very hairy?
Well, there's two types of evolution: fake and real. Fake evolution is macro evolution, where they switch species. There's really no evidence, and there should be billions of evidence, and it's a religion. Evolution is a religion because there's no evidence. But microevolution is the adaptation of species. So in the 1700s, there was
Earthquake so big that the Mississippi flowed backwards, and there was huge mountains fell on different rivers and rerouted everything. And the Indians who were living there, they went crazy. They went crazy, and they went to the woods. And because of all the people that were killed by the disasters, and through interbreeding, because of the lack of female, they adapted to living in the woods. And it's a whole different thing to get used to, and literally became Bigfoots.
So it's like a subspecies of human mixed with animals.
It's not even a
I
subspecies.
feel like I
it's just-
witnessed this
it's not-
between
I wouldn't call it a
Romania
subspecies,
and
'cause-
Slovenia.
It's too much like evolution. It's like, oh, we're missing like no. It's a human that had, through adaptation, had to adjust to their environment. So really creepy. I mean, creepy. I mean, I would
It's
love.
like moving to a new country and then you grow a hair because that country be cold.
Right, it's just like
Something
dogs.
like-
Dogs in
something
different
fast.
areas are different. They have different makeups and different, like with the,
Adaptation
with the rouge
to
and the.
surroundings.
Evolution.
No, that's microevolution. It's just an adaptation of species.
Because it's by little bit.
Right.
And your uncle did all that work with the.
Well, he was a Sunday school teacher. He taught Sunday school for Hopi Indian children on the weekends. But then he drove in and did logging, and he
Is
was
that how he got wind of Sasquatch?
yeah, because he was logging in the woods. He was driving a big tractor, moving the trees.
So
They were cutting a road.
Indians discovered Sasquatch and he came for American term for Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, yeah, he named Bigfoot, which is
Bigfoot.
absolutely
They found the
historical,
footprint.
Right.
He said, "Oh, Bigfoot's been around."
So
Big-
he
Bigfoot
brought
was
it to
here
the
last night,
masses
and that's-
because Indians knew a Sasquatch.
Right. It goes back hundreds of years. I mean, the wild man in the woods. And there was somebody that ran the logging company that was so mad that he got worldwide publicity that he had fake prints made, and he stomped around and pretended, and when he died, his kids said, "Oh, Bigfoot's dead."
No, they showed the fake print with the real print, and it's totally.
Because society
Hilarious,
can't handle
Why they
such
thought it was going to
things.
ruin the logging business or something? With
Well, no,
buying it
he
back?
actually thought he was being punked. You know, because all the people were quitting because there's so many prints around it, and we'd go down giant ravines that you couldn't make it down there. It's too steep.
Dangerous.
Yeah. So fascinating stuff. I was thrilled for 2 years just going through all this data.
So he sort of began the first, the modern day clues to looking
the
for
masses
Sasquatch.
about
Bigfoot,
what was
yeah.
Bigfoot.
He named it. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Interesting.
So I remember him as a kid. He was really cool, man. He used to do tricks.
Oh,
You know, like he.
magic tricks. Or?
Yeah, like he had a little ball of foil because he would do that for the Indian kids, you know.
Oh.
But he was really, we didn't drink. He was very reliable guy.
Trustworthy.
Yeah.
Trustworthy who did magic tricks. I get it.
Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah. Had a great personality. He was cool. So anyway, yeah,
Really?
it was so much fun actually doing it. But now we're gonna see some really ugly stuff.
Cool.
Here we go.
Her name was Nana Sasquatch. Yes.
You're practically related in a way.
Yeah, babe.
I've had black women tell me, girl, I know you be black, at least a little bit.
I'm a blacker crap.
They try to claim me and I say, I love you and I love all of you.
This is where we show our films. We
Thomas is embarrassed.
Are you embarrassed?
No, I'm not embarrassed.
Oh, to be embarrassed.
Fixing the fur on my eye.
Okay. So we show our films out here, and we do DJ shows out here. We do bands here in the main stage inside. And,
Is this a stage? I had no idea this was a stage.
oh yeah, right.
I had no idea this was a
Okay.
stage. Come closer.
I remember seeing Gypsy Priest perform here and hosting Planet 9 Fest here and some
yes.
other DJ. Prince Harvey.
Keller.
Do you hear them? The children of the night. Oh no, wait, they're just corpses.
The corpses of the night. What foul smells they make.
Getting all comfortable, hey? So now we're gonna press the elevator button. We're gonna go in the elevator.
Okay.
Oh, there's an elevator here.
Yeah, it is.
I said I want to order a large order of fries with a medium soft drink. Terrible service. That's why no one likes to go to Jack in the Box.
What, no plant-based meat? That's fucking scary.
Somebody better wash her mouth out with some vodka.
So, what are you doing later this
You know what
evening?
that is?
And then my brother's son,
Yeah, a real stiff.
came and spent the night at her. And my brother just got mad. She's like this, like shaking, like crazy. That's what he said. He's like, you don't know.
So, Carl, you come here often?
Too much.
So what inspired you to create an environment so uniquely fucking cool?
Yeah.
Well, I just had this terrible habit where I like to eat between films, and I decided I needed a job. So, growing up in the theater, I thought to make a place where people could perform and try to make money out of that so I could eat between films. That's basically how it started.
Genius.
Hello!
Eating is
Always
good.
snack time is good idea. Snack time and the nap time. But you probably don't get much of nap time with the sort of events and things that go on here.
Not regular hours, no. Lately, though, yes.
So you said growing up you were always involved in theater, and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I grew up in a repertory theater group for 17 years, since I was a kid. And the director was absolutely the best director I've ever worked with. No one in Hollywood even comes close to this guy. And he went on to direct huge plays in New York. And he just taught us at a very early age about very simple things that are so important, like finding your light, listening when you talk to people and you're on stage. You listen how the person just said their last line, so you can respond and build that way instead of just ba 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 line. I'm listening to how you said it to me, so I can respond to it. You know.
It's not reacting.
Yeah, and it's actually creating. Once you have your lines down, you can start creating a deeper, richer fabric of a theater. So. But just incredible stuff. You know, we would rehearse for whole weekends. You know, and yeah, it was really, really incredible. So, but then I started studying for film to come down here. But in the meantime, I was a mortician for 5 years, and I ran an antique store and all kinds of crazy stuff. So.
Always been a jack of all trades sort of thing.
Kind
But
of.
then you kind of bring that together when you were in Blood the Diner. You guys brought some of that morbid mortician-esqueness to
Well, it helped
Diners
out.
of
It helped out.
him.
Yeah. I mean, when I did the Jeffrey Dahmer film, it helped out that I had all that, dead bodies in my mind, from all the
tap right into the
bombing that I did. Yeah.
That's right, you did
Did
Jeffrey
it again.
Dahmer film and you starred as Jeffrey Dahmer yourself.
Yeah. Actually,
And you wrote it.
I wrote it, produced it, and played Jeffrey. Yeah. I'm the only one that can say that Dahmer saw my movie in prison before he was murdered.
That's amazing.
That's pretty.
No one else could say that. And our film got archived in the National Archives. Unbelievable. I was so honored.
It's honor.
But we did Milwaukee's Talking, little show out there, and we were introduced to the families, and we settled them down. Of course, there was going to be a movie made about.
Somebody has to
Jeffrey
make.
Dahmer.
Somebody has to make it, and if
I
you're
mean,
into it.
One of the most heinous serial killers. Come on, of course, there's going to be a movie about it.
Right.
But by the time we got to Maury Povich, they had taken him backstage and whipped him into a frenzy for ratings.
That's right, you did Maury Povich show,
Yeah,
and you were talking about your film to the people the victims of
Right.
the
Well, we had
murder.
just met all the victims, family members on Milwaukee's Talking, but by the time they got to New York, they were all whipped in. It was like the barbecue Carl Cruise show.
Oh, they were whipped into a frenzy.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
What's wrong
right.
with you? You're glad.
I got slapped.
Yeah, glamorizing.
You Jeffrey Dahmer #2. Wow! And I was like,
no.
I was thrilled. Yeah.
They accuse you of glamorizing him.
I mean, I
Supposed
was
to be
a-
a biopic.
I archived it and I put it up first. I had it on tape and I transferred it and they took it down because it's Maury Povich.
So I transferred what on tape? Your interview with
Well, I was on for the whole hour about my movie. I mean,
Okay.
it wasn't about who's your father. This was back when he was, in New York. And
and this is first of kind because nobody had done this before. It was just fresh after Dahmer had done his whole.
Put him in court.
he was
Right.
still in court when we announced we were shooting.
Right.
So people were freaked out. They were just trying to jump in and destroy it.
So
Yeah.
now people do it on Netflix, it's okay, but when he do it for first time, it's
Yeah.
oh no.
So
But
you
actually, it took
paved the way for.
It
for
took a
Right.
couple
information.
years to get the good reviews. We got better reviews than Jeremy Renner's film.
Yeah. The emotion subsided.
Yeah, exactly. And it was quite a up and down crazy thing. I made friends with one of the family members, and that's how I found out that Dahmer saw my film, because she was the only one that went to visit Dahmer in prison before. Yeah,
Did you ever get to meet Jeffrey Dahmer? Or?
I could have, but I didn't want to.
Okay.
I met his stepmother on the phone.
What was your approach when you were tapping into playing parts like that? Especially-
I've always played the villain, so people say, did it take a long time for you to lose the character? No, like, I'm an actor. I mean, when I'm done, I'm done. But I'm actually writing part 2 right now.
To the Dahmer.
Yes.
What is that going to include?
Well, it's about the prison years, because Jeffrey Dahmer became a Christian in prison.
Oh, did he? For real or
For
just for
real.
like show?
And that's something that's
For
very
real.
important note that changes a person's life despite
And-
how horrendous their acts.
And he was wanted to be baptized, and they wouldn't let him. And so they snuck in someone. He was baptized, and 2 weeks later he was murdered. But see, it wasn't like a last-minute conversion. You know, like, oh, it was just a last-minute conversion. No, he struggled for 6 months, going, how could God ever forgive me? How could he forever? He couldn't deal with it.
So he felt the guilt.
Oh my goodness, yeah, crazy. But finally, this pastor kept visiting him every week. Every week, he wrote a book on it.
Interesting.
And he finally said, okay, and so he accepted Jesus, you know.
Sincere repentance.
Yeah. And it's like, I liken it to,
Acceptance.
the people say, well, you know, how could it be in heaven? Because, I mean, look at the thief on the cross. There was a thief hanging next to Jesus who spent his whole life murdering, robbing people, and at the very last moment he says, remember me when you're in heaven. Bam! So he got to go to heaven. You know, it's called So As Through Fire is the name of what I'm writing. Because they got to heaven, but they still got smoke coming off their clothes. It was so close. You know, but fascinating stuff. I found out a lot, much darker things about him too. He was involved in the occult. And there was 2 years where no one knew what happened to him when he was in Germany. That's where he was trained by the army to do special investigations. That's where he got some of this stuff about, you know, injecting
To
stuff,
mess with people's minds and manipulate
Well-
them and sort of.
drilling them and making them zombies and everything else. There were techniques that were taught to him by people in the army for investigating stuff.
Yeah, it goes to show how cruel they really teach you to be a killer when you join the sort
Well,
of services.
You know, I mean, sometimes it's necessary, you know. Hey. But anyway, so fascinating stuff though. But
Tell us about your tribute to Pink Flamingo's Gross Out.
oh man, well, I don't want to
Do
talk
that again.
about
Say
that.
it
You don't
again.
gross anybody out?
Say it again. So calm.
Say it again? Yeah. So tell us about your Pink Flamingos tribute Gross Out.
Oh, I don't know anything about it.
So, you've been doing the California Institute of Abnormal Arts, CIA, here for, you said, 26 years?
Yep.
And you're planning on possibly relocating to Las Vegas.
Yeah, there's plans. There's plans. I mean, it's 45 million tourists a year. You know, it's really hard to do a nightclub in Hollywood. I mean, people have no idea. Oh, you're a big club promoter. You're worth millions of dollars. Killing me. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Overhead here, I would imagine the expense with all the lights, the drinks.
Let alone the permits and the insurance, and you have people that don't have a clue. They think you're wealthy, and you're not. I mean, this has all just been a pure art the whole time. I'm a performer. I love being around performing art. I love being. I love to be in a organic field of people creating, and that's what I can't stop creating. If I'm not painting, I'm sculpting. If I'm not writing, I'm producing. If I'm not doing something, I can't stop.
So how does one keep the art and everything attainable and sustainable?
Yeah. Well, by the grace of God, baby. Hey.
Oh, and hey.
What are some of your favorite memories here so far that
Oh,
come to
man.
mind? Sure.
I've seen some amazing things here. Well, we did the Dead Puppet Society for 10 years. And I love puppets. You know, I grew up on puppet stuff and all that stuff. So,
Practically
radioactive,
raised like puppets half the time.
pretty much, yeah. Radioactive chicken heads, puppet stuff on acid, yeah. So, I mean, I love bands like that. But, you know, we did, they call me the Barnum of Burbank Boulevard because I've done sideshows and freak shows here for
You're definitely the Barnum of
many
freak
years,
shows.
yeah. We did a lot of, you know, tasteful burlesque, you know, vaudeville style. Just anything unusual, anything strange, anything fun, you know. But
Which is why we're here.
Pushing the limits of creativity and
always
Real
pushing the
bounce of the
envelope.
line.
Yes, that's right.
that's what I love about this place.
Yeah.
Been very fortunate to know you and to
To
have,
experience
been part
the
of like
ambiance.
Planet 9 Film Festival here and other things. It's always a good time, good show I've seen here anytime I've been here.
And
We
you can watch
used to do
online.
the girly freak show here.
Oh, did you?
That's with Slimenstra Hyman from Guar.
Wow.
Yeah, you know Guar.
Yes, the band.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
the-
She was the Guar goddess. And at the end of her show, she would throw 1,000,000 volts of electricity out of her face over the crowd.
Hey, if that's not hot and electrifying, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're like, ah, you know, that was a Tesla coil, but you don't care. He's like, yeah. It was incredible. Talk about a showstopper. And she blew a fireball so big on the stage you couldn't even see the stage. I have a picture of it.
I thought that
Amazing.
was
She always
too many chili peppers and you got
she always went over the top. She was a maximalist, and that's what we love. We love artists who are maximalists. Like,
no such thing as too over the top.
yes, that's right.
Just make it more
Extremities, we live by them.
Amen.
Thank you for having us here.
Don't
again.
be scared. My pleasure.
It's always a very charming. It's always one of the places that feel more natural, like more comforting versus like, oh, what's going on here? What's going on there? Oh, CIA. That's a good vibe.
Right, I never felt more at home.
Very cool.
Thanks for
Amen, brother.
existing.
Yes.
We love you.
Oh, my darling.
Thank you. You make peace. It's a good thing. Sunny and Cher. No, let's get another one, like Dead Cat perhaps.
I just want to get a chocolate blood shake. Is that so much? They have everything here except for chocolate blood shake with human breast milk.
There's a piano.
Gotta shine a light.
Yeah, I like that David Lynch movie about him with Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
What
My
is this?
favorite is Eraserhead. I don't care.
Yeah, he's right. Probably the best. I don't really care for his other stuff besides those.
Oh. These are the notes in my head. Why do I love you so much? This is so chocolate. Look at my name.
And the elephant man over here. I think John Maverick, perhaps what's his name?
Sunny and Cher. How about Katpara and her cat?
I forgot how to read in human.
It's okay, just ask him later.
No chocolate blood shake. Hey, 45 gray.
Pink candy bells, beware of the devil's bell, and the world tastes with your there's no wood you down. Candy bells, beware of the devil's bell, and the world tastes with your flavors slow wood you down. Come